I ain't 100% convinced about this flaming June. Welcome back to One Man and His Quad. I'm being very quiet this afternoon because we've got our special guest and she's asleep. So I'll try and be as quiet as I can, and the light ain't brilliant as usual, but what we have done there, excuse the yellow tape, is secure our Warrior plate onto the top of our Polaris Sportsman airbox. I have taken the side off as well, as you can see, to run the pipes down. I'm not going to do a full how-to video on this because Marcus Prime
it's Magnus
has done an excellent video, and the link is up the top right hand corner as I speak now, and I'll also include the link in the description in this video. But that's in, it's been bolted in using the 4 existing bolt holes which fit perfectly on the Polaris airbox, and also siliconed in with a bit of black sealant, so that is now in place. I'll show you what I'm doing because it slightly differs to what he was doing on his Polaris build. Down here, got a light down there as well, you can see the silver bit there, those are going to be the brackets. He used a steel crate banding, which I don't have any of. I did have a look into buying some, but it's quite expensive by the roll. I don't need that much, so I went to my local builders merchant and purchased this stuff here, which is used in construction. I think it's steel or aluminium. I will put what it is in the description box at the bottom anyway, but because it's got holes in, it's actually quite good for making the brackets. And as you can see, the auxiliary switch to the rear reverse of that, it's, I think you might just be able to see, pick that up on the video there, it's where I've bolted into. So this is going to be quite a busy video. We're going to keep coming back. The weather, you can probably hear the rain on the roof. It's pants, believe it or not. It's June, but we're going to keep coming back. It may be tomorrow by the time we do some more filming, and you'll be able to see the progress that we have been making. And just like that, it's the next day, and we've brought the quad outside today because, yeah, still a little bit of blue sky there. There we go. So it's actually not teaming it down with rain, and I wanted to give you some shots of what we managed to complete yesterday. I did some filming in the shed when I'd finished, but by that stage it becomes so overcast and so dull, I don't think you'll be able to pick up what I was trying to show you, so we'll refilm all that today. There you go, bossing it as a dad for the next few minutes anyway, till my wife returns. And after I've shown you, we'll start her up, see if she sounds any different, and then we'll go for a little bit of a test ride to see if everything still works. So as you can see, the Warrior plate is now in place. That's probably the clearest shot we've had of it. So that's all in place. Ignore the yellow tape and the netting over there. That's another story. I'll explain that another time. So the 4 bolts do fit the Polaris Sportsman airbox. You can pick them up on there, and it was siliconed around the edge as well. Not a great siliconing job. We then ran the 2 rubber pipes. Now I measured these first instance because it's quite hard to measure without a proper tailor's tape measure, and I got it to about 110 centimeters, so just over a meter. So I've cut both pipes to a meter 20, sorry, and as you can see, if you look in there, they just fit where they need to go. So if you're going to do this, if you're going to snorkel like I'm going to do a Polaris Sportsman like I've done, you need about 130 centimeters per pipe. So buy 3 meters worth of the tube from Swell and you should have plenty. That's been connected on just using a couple of hose clips there. To get the rubber tubing over the plastic ends of the Warrior plate, a top tip as well is to use some WD-40 just to slide them on. They go on a hell of a lot easier. They've now been run in front of the main chassis frame, behind that air intake, behind the air intake there for the belt, I think it is. And if I bring it round to the front of the wheel well, up through there and attaching here. I've used the builder's metal work. I meant to check what that was called last night. I do apologise, I've forgotten what it is called, but all good builders know. It's basically, it's for reinforcing brickwork, but because it's got the holes in and it's quite flexible, it's ideal for this job. You can see I've bolted it there, and also there is a auxiliary switch whose bolts came out the back there, so proved very useful to connect it onto. Now, I didn't want to do any holes in this to initially create it, but I found as time went on there was a need just to drill a few holes in. Two of them being here. One of them is actually a blanking one, a mistake. Another one connects to the metalwork just at the back there, and the other one, as you can see, is running a cable tied through each side to act as a support for the two 90-degree pipes. On the end of the tubes we've got the reducers, as I say, the plastic 90-degree ploughing fittings, and on the end are those two nets there. So that was the net type material I showed you on the original video when we did all the unboxing of the swell stuff, and that's just to stop any large objects coming in. I'm going to give that a try. If it works, great. If not, it'll get taken off. Again, two hose clips just attaching it on. So as you can see, it's all relatively good. The longest part for me was actually working out how those brackets were going to fit. Everything else really dead simple. You know, it's pretty secure in there. The bottom one's a little bit less secure, I would say. And what we might do, if we just follow myself into the shed, apologies for all the mess on the floor, is I took apart a shelving unit, one of the metal shelving units, and saved these recently. So I'm just thinking maybe chop that down to size and using that as a bracket. And I've got some steel cable ties on order as well, stainless steel cable ties, so they might just do that job. So we're going to get the bike back together, as I say. We're going to start her up, see if she sounds any different, and then we're going to go for a little bit of a ride. So we're just back from the ride out, guys, and all went well, I've got to say. Lower temperature by about 10 degrees. When we were running it before, we were running quite hot at around 94. It's down to about 80, so actually that's near enough 15, isn't it? So that's great news. Secondly, pushed it to around 63 miles per hour. Top speed on the bike, usually around 60-ish. And there's a little bit more to give there. So all in all, great result in terms of putting the Warrior plate on and the tube snorkel setup there. thank you for watching this episode of One Man and His Quad. I promise we will get those settings on the helmet cam right one day. But if you want to snorkel your ATV, you can do. But remember, please follow the guy that did it originally, who was Marius Prime? Marcus Prime?
It's Magnus.
Thanks, Magnus. If you like him, he's got all the instructions. He's also done a follow-up video in the last few days, which sort of gave a bit of feedback on how the bike's been running since he's fitted his, what he calls his trail snorkel. So really informative. If you do like his channel, make sure you follow it up here. And also the video specifically is here. The Swell website, which can find all the links to in the description down here, is also up here for their YouTube page. Remember, all the links are direct to what you need for this. There is also a link to the Warrior plate on the Snorkel Your ATV website down here. And remember, when this video finishes down here, I think that's right, or is it that way? Could be that way. That way or that way. Anyway, there's links to the two previous videos, the unboxing video for this particular items for Swell, and also Snorkel Your ATV, excuse me. And also, the reason I do this channel can be found on the link, which is just about to appear up there. Remember, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram as well. All the latest updates on there, pictures, bits and pieces, and when the next videos are going to be out can be found on our Instagram and Facebook page. Just search One Man and His Quad, all one word, stick it in the search bar and we should come up. Until next time, everybody, hopefully we'll have some more material on the channel, so a few rides out as lockdown gets lifted real soon. But until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then.